Hey John, thanks for making it today. So the first question is, well, more of an introductory of yourself and Sunrise Tools. A little bit about what you do and what Sunrise Tools is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Hughes. I'm the Operations and Sales Director for Sunrise Tools. We've been going probably since about 2007, really, I think. I've been with the business for just over 5 years now. We sell specialist construction tools to everybody, really. We are UK based, but we sell worldwide.
Excellent. And it's fair to say that search traffic over the years being found in Google has been a key part of your, an important part of your business, like everyone in e-commerce, but it's just been a growing part of your business really since I came into the frame. At least, I know I've been involved since 2016. So here we are in 2025. It's been quite a long journey so far. Obviously, you came into the picture in 2020, so I used to deal with just Sean. Bit of a question for you here would be, what do you remember about the early challenges and the goal of what we have been doing together? Generally speaking, in terms of the types of products and who you're trying to be found by, if you don't mind telling us a little bit about some of the challenges as, a company coming into that space when there's big players out there who sell similar products to you.
There are a few big companies, the likes of Screwfix and some other large national building merchants, which sell some products very similar, not exactly the same. We have our own unique stamp on a lot of them, but to try and beat them, and because we're so small, we only have one premises, there's only 3 full-time staff here, have our market share, which we currently have, we couldn't do without our SEO work, the work that you do for us. We have a great website, which is very informative, and we're also a bit different and unique from others that we're at the end of the phone as well. So I've used all the tools, I know how to use them. But one of the biggest challenges for us is the fact that we don't have the money and the spend capacity to put ads and things like that up. So we heavily rely on the SEO work. As an example, over 80% of our sales is all direct on the website.
Yeah.
We do have a very small shop front, but that doesn't even equate for 5% of our turnover. It's 80% of our turnover is the website. So we obviously need to have a strong presence.
Yeah. That's one of the points I was going to mention, is that probably a lot of companies, maybe someone watching this could relate to the struggle of realizing just how much they may need to spend on Google ads to get the level of business in, and it being quite sort of off-putting if they need to be spending say £10,000 a month on ads when a service provider who's doing SEO has been able to actually, over a long period of time, if you have the ability to sort of be patient and see the result and see a business grow organically, like you say, 80% of your revenues come in not just from repeat custom, but just from business coming in from Google and people finding those core products that you offer. Some of the key things that we've pushed, really, a lot of it has been to do with the quick point gun, hasn't it? And manhole lifters, these types of products that for the everyday person, we don't think about it, but your target market, they're looking for that online, and they're looking for a company like yours that they can keep coming back to and buying those products.
Yeah, and the good thing is that we manufacture the manhole body range ourselves. Yes, there are similar products out there, but we manufactured that particular one ourselves. It's hard for us if we were just to do verbal things. We need the SEO presence, really, to get it pushed up there. Just look, if you typed in manhole lifter on Google, we're not the top, we're second down.
Yeah.
And that's all down to yourselves, really.
No, that's great to hear that feedback. I know obviously you've only been involved since 2020. A lot's happened since then. Since 2016, from what I see, I see the business back then, you had 2 microsites, and then it was that you worked with an agency to bring it into this one brand that became Sunrise Tools. Before that, you had these kind of keyword-rich domain names like manholelifter.co.uk, and I can't remember what the other one was, maybe brick pointing or jointing iron or something like that, the very specific keyword domains. And you were kind of told back then, you need to have a brand, and actually, it was sound advice when you think about the big picture of where things have gone. now where we're in this space of the kind of like AI era, and website owners are in a position where they're kind of seeing that the way people are searching is different. Not just about raw, normal traditional Google searches. It's that combined with people using ChatGPT, Perplexity, and obviously Google AI mode, which at the time of this recording is released in the US and not in the UK. But we know obviously that it's going to be a big piece here. As a business owner, where you have to wear so many hats, and you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with the whole overall strategy of your business. How do you feel about your readiness for that, and you're relying on us, I guess, in a sense, to steer you through that and be found in the multiple areas that we now think about, rather than what we used to just think about, which was just Google search. How do you feel about all of that?
Myself personally is slightly different from Sean, the other owner. Sean's a lot older, so he's not very tech savvy. I'm not particularly tech savvy either, but I have a bit more of an understanding. And after having that meeting with you a few weeks back and you explaining everything because we weren't aware about the new AI coming in, I feel confident that we've already got a good handle on it with working with yourselves. I mean, we've actioned some of the things that you've already suggested, and that's all starting to pull through. So I think we're ready for it. It'll be a challenge. I still think it'll be a challenge. I think it'll be a challenge for any company, whether they were a multi-billion pound company or like us, just under $1 million a year.
Yeah.
But I think because we're quite small and we have such a good relationship with you guys, that I think we'll be able to handle it smoother than a larger company would.
Yeah, being quite sort of agile, being able to, obviously we're working with so many companies, e-commerce brands, service-based businesses where it's all about leads, getting those phone calls in. Obviously yours is a bit of a hybrid between people picking up the phone and people just putting those orders through. The main thing is that we're wanting to guide our clients through that and be able to almost take that weight off your shoulders of having to keep on the cutting edge of what's going on, how are people searching, how can we be found in these platforms. And so our value add is to hopefully guide you through that. As we enter into that new space, obviously search has changed a lot, even over the last 18 months. 2023, 2024, we saw a lot of blog content was losing traffic as the AI overviews were summarizing and synthesizing the information. So blog posts that you still have, which once drove say 10,000 hits a month, maybe paling in comparison. But what we know now is that it's still important for the context and for the whole brand. But now what we're looking at is more of the overall picture of the conversions coming through your website. And so, like you said, it's like, everyone has a level of apprehension as the use of AI search goes up. It's about understanding your visibility there, as well as traditional Google, for as long as traditional Google is a thing. Just two final points here, just as we're closing up. How would you describe the sort of working relationship month to month, year to year with Convert Digital, just in terms of staying in the loop, what kind of work's getting done, how that is conveyed? Obviously we talk a bit about Loom videos, and I think that's changed. Maybe go back 5 years, we didn't do that back then. But yeah, just tell us a little bit about that. That'd be great.
Since I started back in 2020, I think Sean dealt with you more than I did. And I think at the time that was more, like you said, Loom really wasn't around or being used as much. So it was just a call every month and the odd email backwards and forwards from Sean and from yourself. More from you towards Sean to say, we need to do this. But since Loom, and since I've been working more with you, you send us Loom videos every 2 weeks. And it's really nice. In fact, it's a bit like what I enjoy is the personal side of things as well. So I can just email you and ask you questions, and I know within a day, or even within an hour or two, I'll have an answer. Or even what's quite nice is having a little video, so we can go through and you'll be showing me things on your screen while I just watch the video. So I'm always in the loop, and it's great. The way that Convert Digital work, as in it's a very personal touch.
Yeah,
which is just what we want. I mean, it's not because we're so small, it's because that's what makes people feel more comfortable. And if we feel comfortable with you, then we're going to keep working with you, and vice versa, I think. So it's really good. I mean, we get so much feedback from yourselves. I'm constantly reviewing. I've got your own folder where I put everything, all the videos in. So sometimes I go back because I haven't finished a task that you've said may need doing and things. So it's great that you give us tasks to do, and you always ask, oh, how have you got on with that? So yeah, it helps us drive things forward because, you know, like you said earlier, being a business owner, having so many hats to ourselves, it's difficult to keep on top of everything.
Yeah.
But having that other little reminder, you know, just a little kick to say, have you done it? Or how'd you get on with it? Just, oh, sugar, haven't done it. Right, I'll get on it now. And, you know, it just helps. It's great.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing that we try to convey is that, you know, maybe a complex topic broken down and made simple, because at the end of the day, it's not your job to stay on the cutting edge of, you know, what's going on in search marketing, right? And it doesn't need to be. It's really just more of a case of, you know, this is what we've been doing, this is why it's important. If we need you to do something, or we need some, you know, assets from you, certain questions to help us do our job better, that just seems to be a great way to do it. And I think we, hopefully do a great job of that.
Yeah, and I also think that the fact that you kind of understand our business as well, which is really good. I mean, a lot of people that, you know, we've had people come to us to say, oh, we can do this for you, we can do that, mainly on different parts of the business, but they don't understand what we're actually trying to achieve anyway. They just want to sell their product.
Yeah.
You know, and unlike you guys, you don't just say, oh, I'm the world's best SEO guy.
No.
You know, you don't try and push just that and then don't worry about the rest of the business. You understand what we want to achieve and how we want to achieve it, and help us work towards that, which is what you're after.
It's that commercial thinking, isn't it? It's like, if you're spending X, obviously you want a return on investment. You look at the big picture, but ultimately, you know, we've been working together since 2016. And so we're 2025. So it's, you know, 9 years of every single month working together. And I mean, that is a really good long-standing relationship. A lot of companies don't work quite that long. You know, they might do a couple of years. I think that is the big thing there, is it is about that understanding what is actually going to move the needle for your business. Final point, if you don't mind, John, would be, what would you say to someone, maybe not necessarily a business like yours, but, you know, they're in a position where they're thinking about, how do I push my business? I don't know what route to take. We need more business. They're considering working with Convert Digital, and obviously we provide a few different services. We're not a jack of all trades. We're very much about the SEO. We do Google ads as well, sort of advertising in general. But what would be your advice to someone in terms of, like, what would be like the first step or the next steps they could potentially take?
I think the first steps they would take is, once they meet you guys and actually sit down with you, or even just a video call with yourselves, they explain what they want, then you'd go away and see what you could do. You don't then come back to them with an understanding of their business, as well as how they want to achieve it and how they should achieve it.
Yeah.
It's just, I couldn't highly recommend you enough. You guys, it's amazing.
Thank you very much, John.
It's just, without your help throughout the nearly 10 years, this business wouldn't be where we are now, because without you guys, we wouldn't have 80% of our sales and revenue coming through the website. We would spend thousands and thousands to try and match what you've done every month you do for us.
Trying to keep that traffic level there, and, you know, if you turn the tap off, it's gone. Obviously it doesn't work like that with normal search. So John, thank you so much. We'll wrap it up there. No doubt we'll be speaking very soon anyway.
No problems.